It's Yulia, and this is Going Places. Welcome back to Season 12 of our show. If you're new to the show, let me introduce myself and the concept of Going Places. My name is Yulia Denisyuk, an award-winning storyteller, photographer, writer, community builder, podcaster, filmmaker, educator, and entrepreneur working on stories from around the world for top global publications, traveling to places like Paraguay, Hong Kong, and the Arctic Circle, and producing stories about the people who live and work in those places that I'm really excited about. Going Places is my show that features weekly interviews with people near and far who make our world better. If you've listened to us for a while, then you know we are not a typical travel show. We often talk about seeing and visiting many places in our world, but we do that through the lens of the people who live and work there, hoping to understand their dreams, their struggles, and their stories. At the core of it, Going Places is about cultivating hope, and we need that feeling of hope more than ever right now. If you felt for some time now that every aspect of what it means to live a good life as a human, whether it's human rights, equity, and dignity, whether it's being a good neighbor to our natural world, whether it's living a rich, creative life and not worrying about how you're going to pay the bills, whether it's having a community around you, if you feel like all of these aspects of living are often under attack all across the world, I want you to know that you are not alone. So many people feel the same way, and so many are also doing something about it. I meet these people everywhere I go, both inside and outside of the United States, where I'm based. And this season, we're going to be bringing their stories to you. Here is a preview of what you're about to hear.
A lot of the policies I looked at in the book come out of very dark periods in these countries' histories. And so you have the National Health Service in the UK where I live, this first universal healthcare system in the world, coming out of the ashes of World War II. You have Estonia looking to the internet to rebuild its country at a time in which, again, it didn't have any resources. Uruguay looking to renewable energy at a point in which it was constantly being plunged into darkness because they couldn't keep the lights on. They couldn't afford to keep buying fossil fuels from neighboring countries at exorbitant prices. And so they had to look for a different solution. And I want us to really hopefully come away from these lessons thinking dark periods can sometimes yield really great solutions. And so we cannot put our hands up in despair, as I said earlier, but put our hands to work and really think of this as a time in which if more and more people are realizing that things are broken, they also are realizing that we need to fix them, that we need to chart a different path forward.
I do think that it's important for people to travel just because humans have been moving throughout this world for all of eternity. And it's good for people to be curious. And I do think that it just, as a whole, breaks barriers between people when people are receptive when traveling. That can help keep people interconnected as we isolate each other more and more through politics and conflict. But it really all depends on how sensitive people tread when they are moving and how they use their curiosity and their intent when traveling. Yes, you can be a little bit selfish and curious, but also you can still have exchange with people and with cultures as you satiate your own curiosity.
Movement of well-being and mindfulness and everything. I think it's a movement right now that, you have to detox the brain and all these computers and the screens and everything. And we are really, here in Sweden anyway, we are really looking into the nature because we have the science that show us that, when you are in the forest or on the water, in the sea or everything, your blood pressure goes down and you have the whole body is feeling, and especially the brain, feels very well. So I think, don't you think when we see more and more science about this, I think people needs to go back to the nature because we are a part of the nature. We have to, land in that kind of thought.
You've just heard from Natasha Hakimi Zapata, an award-winning journalist who wrote a book called Another World is Possible: Lessons for America from Across the World; Alex Reynolds, a traveler building a radically different hostel in Pakistan's Ishkomon Valley; and Marie Osblom from Stockholm Archipelago Trail, who reminds us about the human rights realm and why we should not be afraid of the forest. Joining them will be a nomadic activist and strategist from Finland, Arto Sivonen, who brings breakthrough ideas for making the world a better place for many of us; Berlin-based journalist Joe Bauer, who runs his way across the world; Lindsay Hope, who has founded and runs Rise Travel Institute, dedicated to decolonizing travel, and so many more. We've planned a lot of exciting episodes for you this season, and I can't wait to share all of them with you. Be sure to subscribe to our show so you don't miss our upcoming episodes. And now, I have a big announcement to make. We just launched Going Places as a reader-supported publication. At the core of it, it's this idea of cultivating hope and bringing you stories from across the world that expand the known. On our platform, we feature Indigenous art collectives in Algeria and Quechua language guardians from Peru, with the goal of centering and celebrating Indigenous voices and building bridges, not walls. Reader-supported means that you can be in community with us on this journey. It takes a lot of work to put together our reported stories each week, and we're inviting you to join us. You can become a Going Places member for as little as $8 a month, and there are lots of perks associated with our membership, like getting on a group call with me every month to ask questions, get advice, and be in community with each other. If that sounds exciting to you, be sure to visit goingplacesmedia.com to check out our new reader-supported platform. And be sure to drop your email to get our updates. We have a lot of very interesting things coming your way. Next week, I'll tell you more about our new platform and how you can be a part of this movement to cultivate hope from Amman to Atlanta to Amsterdam. For now, I am so excited to be back with new episodes in your feed, and I thank you so much for being one of our listeners. I will see you next week with our first episode of the season. Take care and safe travels.